Hello, welcome back to Otter Pop Culture. Today we're going over the Miami-based singer Camila Cabello and her third album called Familia. So I did review Romance, which is her second album, came out in 2019. I reviewed that one. I thought it was okay. I felt like there was pieces to it that was a little more hype than it was actually like touching on romance. But I still like the messages and pieces of it. So here I am with Familia and with an inside direction of what's going on, which is not really inside. If you literally have to be living under a rock to not know this, but pretty much her relationship with Shawn Mendes has influenced both tracks or both albums, Romance and this one. So in that situation, it's kind of weird to get into this with an idea of thinking it was more about family. So I was like in my head, I was like, okay, cool. This is. I was thinking the whole time I was thinking, I was like, okay, there's going to be a space where she's going to talk about. I was thinking in my head, like the next album's going to be about their breakup because they broke up and he's already writing singles, releasing singles about the breakup, and he's feeling very hurt. So maybe on her side, she'll have her explanation since her album's coming out before him. So I'm thinking in my head, okay, we're gonna get all the stories, how she's feeling, what's going on, and I feel like we do get that in this, but it's titled Familia, and it makes it kind of weird because it's not entirely about her family. It's really not. It's only like I want to say like maybe one song is about something about family, which is about Cuba. But the rest of this album is pretty much, well, maybe Celia, but basically the album's more about her relationship, her Shawn Mendes, and pretty much what she's been going through with her mind about how her thoughts about love and how it's been going on and what's her thoughts now that she's been through this breakup with someone that she really, really loves. So and then go through some of the album, talk about what I like and the new stuff that's interesting about it, and kind of break some things down. So we start off with Familia, which is pretty much just Spanish horns, and going into Celia, and I felt like that kind of it makes sense, I guess, because she speaks full Spanish in this track, but I'll give it to this one. Actually, I'll give it to it. I feel like this song is talking about like falling in love with this girl named Celia, and to the point where he's like infatuated by her. He's like fallen head over heels for her and just really into her. But she's like, you don't really know what type of person you fell into. Like I'm all types of like I'm a little crazy, I'm a little cool, I'm a little past your league, but yet here you are, kind of thing. Um, Going to Psychofreak featuring Willow. I haven't really invested in Willow's career, not really much, because I feel like it's a little very alternative pop, little out of the like left field direction, and a little too left field for me personally. But I love her in this song. I honestly feel like she carried the message even heavier into her chorus. This song pretty much talks about anxiety and just wanting to be like everybody else, where she can be in parties and not feel anxious, not go to think about somebody coming to her space and feeling anxious. She just want to get all that out. And I feel like Willow's verse kind of chorus pretty much picks that all up and talks about how she wants to do these things, but these things hold her back. Um, like for example, I want to feel like I can chill, not having to leave this restaurant. Wish I could be like everyone else, but I'm not. Not like anyone else. Um, and so it's pretty much that. Camila even points out one piece where she talks about she's like, I don't blame the girls of how it went down. So that one talks about the idea, just like her thinking my idea is like she thinks that her anxiety may have took maybe part of the responsibility to why Fifth Harmony kind of didn't really talk to her after she split from them. Um, but yeah, I don't really. It's a to me, it's a bit of a throwaway piece or lyric the whole anxiety thing is more what it's really about. And I really like the song. I think the production's really nice. I love it where it picks up when Willow comes in. I think it's really cool. Bam Bam featuring Ed Sheeran. I have such an on and off thing with Ed Sheeran. I like him one day, and next thing I just can't stand him. I just feel like there's a bit of a. I think he's very, very talented. Like when it comes to his vocals, when it comes to his like guitar, but for some reason I just have this bad taste in my mouth whenever I come to his. When it comes to his songs, I think part of it because there's songs that he does that I feel like comes out a little too easily, and he gets a little features a little too easily. And I was like, I mean, yeah, but does he fit in this situation? No, it's just the fact that his namesake kind of pulls it in. But what I feel when I see him. So going into this song, Bam Bam, I was like, oh god, he's gonna speak Spanish. He's gonna do all of these flexes that really doesn't really need to happen. But it's Ed Sheeran, so it's literally namesake wise. But he does a good job in this. He really does a good job. I don't really think he really needs to be in it technically, because he's in a good place in his life. This song is about moving on and accepting an inability or the idea that you're losing your partner. So she talks about that. She brings it on down. She even says "Esa la vida," and she's like, she's really into it, that means that's life. And she's just saying those things, just like love came around, knocked me down, but I'm back on my feet. All these things that happen, and even the part that I really like, which is could ever imagine even having doubts, but not everything works out. No. So all of that was happening, and then Ed Sheeran comes in and pretty much low-key brags about how his relationship is going so great and how great he's having. But he does, in the end, kind of throws a little bit of like, I know it's like to be broken up with. I know it's like to be the break-up-er. So I've been there before kind of thing. It feels like a low-key comforting, but it doesn't really make sense to have him in it unless he's comforted the full time. Like talking about how great he's in love with this person doesn't really has nothing to do with the idea of moving on from a partner and what it means and how it feels. I feel like it doesn't really make any sense for him to be in it in that situation. But aside from that, I do like the song. I really do. I started. I loved it. I thought it was cool. I like the idea of her talking about that idea, just embracing the inevitability of the fact of just like, you're going to have to just deal with the fact that they're gone, you know? Going into the next one, La Buena Vida, this one pretty much talks about the idea of this lover of hers spending way more time with his work and traveling, going all these places, but never really take the time to really get together and spend some time with her, to the point where she's like, you should be here. Oh wait, here it goes. I thought we would be traveling the world together, making love in the afternoon, but I'm forgetting what it's like to wake up next to you. So she's waking up on her own so many times. She's like, okay, I can't even think about what it's like when you wake up and rolling over to you or whatever. She doesn't really feel that anymore, and so she's kind of feeling like, what the fuck, pretty much. I thought it was okay. I feel like it was a bit of a throwaway song. Quiet is the next one I really, really like. I do like the production. Production is really nice. Surprised that Ricky Reed is out still doing his stuff. I felt like it almost felt like he disappeared, and then all of a sudden he's like helping the production in this. I was like, which is great. I like him. I really do. So I'm glad to see him back. I just don't know where the hell he went. Anyway, Quiet's a really good song, just talking about the idea of her body, how it reacts whenever he's close to her, and just like her mind just runs a mile a minute, and so just having him whenever he's around and whenever they're touching, it's just like, it just goes, all that idea and everything, all those anxieties just go right away. And it's really nice. I do like the song. I do like the production. Boys Don't Cry, I do like this one. This one talks about the idea of just like how toxic masculinity affects her partner and her relationship, and the idea is that she's trying to comfort him, saying that it's okay to cry, it's okay to feel, it's not stupid. And she says, it's not stupid, it's not drama, it's just trauma turn to armor, keeping you from me. So she knows that he's hiding it out, and he thinks that an idea that like men are not supposed to cry, they're not supposed to talk about their feelings, not supposed to talk about confess any of their feelings that's negative because they're supposed to figure it out themselves. I blame literally the generations before us, but pretty much now we're working in that space where she's saying you don't have to be that in my space. I do like the production in this as well. The next song is Hasta la Dientes. This one, or Los Dientes. This one is a good song. It's decent. This one talks about the idea of her feeling still jealous about her lover's ex and still thinks about her whenever she's sleeping, whenever they kiss. Because she's like, if you're kissing me like this, do you kiss her? Did you kiss her like that? Make sure to tell her that she don't belong to you anymore. You belong to me, kind of thing. And I was like, it seems like there's a lot of insecurity going on coming from one side. And so it's kind of awkward in that space. But I thought it was okay. It didn't really pull me into anything. No Doubt is a good song too, but I didn't really start it. I thought it was okay. Actually, I thought it was okay. I can't say it's a good song. It's a decent song. This one talks about the insecurity in their relationship, but when they touch, it changes everything up. It seems like the sex is pretty amazing when it comes to this situation, because there's two songs about like touching takes her minds off of things. Making love makes her not doubt whether they're going to be together or not. And I was like, I think there's more problems that could come to that, but whatever works. I think that fine. Going into the next song, Don't Go Yet. This song is the first single to this album. I really like it. It's the first time you actually get a taste of her kind of leaning deeper into that, her culture pretty much, and her sound, and the sound of Spanish sound, of Spanish influence, and adding those kind of sounds to it. I really like it. This one's pretty simple. It's just talking about the idea of her wanting her letter to stay a little bit longer, stay over the night, and just kind of just be together. The song's really great. I love her in it. I love her kind of like her first single, or her first verse is sung, and then the second verse is kind of like rhythmic and just like, I like it. I think that it's completely it's a complete banger. Going into the next one, Lola featuring, I hope I pronounced this right, Yotuel. This one is talking about the Cuban government and the idea of how this woman Lola has a lot of talent, a lot of potential, a lot of everything, but she can't do that because the way that the government moves. She doesn't have food for her family, she doesn't have food for herself, she doesn't have water for herself, she doesn't have all these things. So she has to stop bettering herself, educating herself, and all these things, because the government's not giving you any food. It's not helping with any assistance with the community. So she has to do it herself. She has to work multiple jobs. She has to do this and go get food instead of actually honing in on her talents, honing in on what she really wants to do, where she wants to travel. And she can't do that. She has to work harder just to focus on her family. And not that working on family and helping family is bad. It's not the case. It's more the idea that she it shouldn't be the only thing she has in life, you know? So I think that's kind of nod. I give it to her so much for this song. That is what I talk about what I was expecting coming from Familia. Was talking about her Cuban roots, talking about what her family's like, what's going on and everything. And this really hits it. Everybody's at the Party is a cute acoustic ballad. This is really cute. It talks about the idea of her looking for Shawn Mendes pretty much all over the parties, and just hoping she runs into him, hoping that her dress that she wears that night to a party will change his mind about wanting to take a break. And she even asks at the end, she's like, did you get the space that you needed? Did you realize you didn't need me? So, which was kind of funny, because in this whole time I felt like so Shawn Mendes broke up with her. They talked about how they both kind of broke up together, but he wanted a break. They broke up, but then they haven't got back together. And so it makes sense. She's like, did you get the space you need? Do you realize that you don't really need me? And it's funny because he has a song that came out very recently that talked about exactly that. I kind of have a feeling you don't need me. So they both feel like they both feel like one doesn't need the other person's kind of funny. But I feel like it's also very authentic, because I feel like no matter which way a relationship breaks down, you'll always both people will have some insecurity about the relationship and still will reflect on a relationship, even if you are the one that's calling off, either one you're being called off on. You'll still have a reflection space or time when you start looking at yourself like, what does that mean? What does that mean? What does this mean? Kind of thing. I give this album, I give it an 8 out of 10. I feel like I was a little misled by the Familia title, because it honestly could have been like Romance Part 2. And because that's exactly what it felt like. It's directly about love and less about family. Except for one song. But yeah, leave a comment below, tell me what you thought. Maybe I missed something. Maybe the Familia direction is in there, just not seeing it entirely. Let me know in the comments. If you like this, let me know. If you didn't, let me know. If you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe button, notification bell too, so you get more of my videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next video.